Every year, cities across America enter a fierce race to host the Super Bowl. Local committees proudly claim that hosting the championship game will inject $400 to $600 million into the local economy. But here is the truth behind those numbers. The NFL keeps 100% of the ticket sales, 100% of the television rights, and all of the in-stadium sponsorship revenue. The NFL does not even pay local taxes on these profits. Meanwhile, the host city must pull money from public funds to pay for infrastructure, security, fire departments, and a massive list of free perks for the league. Hosting a Super Bowl is not the financial goldmine it is rumored to be. For many cities, it is a massive public subsidy flowing directly into the pockets of a private sports organization. To understand how a city plays this game, we need to divide host locations into 3 tiers of infrastructure and financial capacity. The first tier is the new tourist hub. These cities feature mega stadiums costing between $1.9 and $5 billion, like Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas or SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. These are indoor or warm-weather stadiums located in cities with massive existing tourism infrastructure. They have over 15,000 hotel rooms ready to absorb hundreds of thousands of visitors without spending extra public money on temporary transit or lodging. The second tier is the traditional football city. Think of the Superdome in New Orleans or Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. These cities have a long history of hosting, but their stadium constantly require renovations, costing between $300 and $500 million just to keep up with the NFL rising standards. Local governments accept these costs and long-term tax exemptions to keep their spot in the hosting rotation. The third tier includes suburban and cold-weather cities. This includes venues like U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis or MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The NFL rarely picks cold-weather cities. To win a bid, these cities must build massive indoor venues or commit $20 to $30 million just for operational costs like snow removal, heating, and extra security. This puts a heavy financial burden on the local budget. Behind the NFL decision is a confidential 150-page bid specifications document. It outlines hidden costs that outsiders rarely consider. First is the complete tax exemption. The host city must waive all local sales taxes, hotel taxes, and taxes on tickets and merchandise for the NFL and its sponsors. Next are security and public services. The city must provide free police, fire, medical, and sanitation services. Overtime pay for these workers usually drains $5 to $10 million from the local budget. Then there are VIP perks. The NFL demands free access to top-tier golf courses, exclusive entertainment centers, and thousands of luxury hotel rooms locked at fixed discounted rates. Police escorts must clear dedicated traffic lanes for NFL officials and sponsors. Finally, there are strict hardware requirements. The stadium must hold at least 7,000 fans, offer 35,000 parking spaces, and provide cellular networks capable of handling tens of thousands of simultaneous broadcasts. To understand the true economics of the Super Bowl, imagine paying to renovate your house, hiring security, and covering the utility bills so a massive corporate VIP party can take place in your living room. The party organizer keeps all the ticket money, food sales, and sponsorships. All you get is the spare change from your neighbors charging for parking down the street. The NFL takes the big money. Ticket prices range from $2,000 to over $1,000. They control the billion-dollar broadcast rights and corporate sponsorships. The host city only collects indirect revenue through hotel occupancy taxes and local sales taxes from the tourists who visit that week. This brings us to a highly counterintuitive insight regarding the substitution effect and the crowd-out effect. Host committees predict $500 million in economic impact. But independent economists find the real number is much smaller. The substitution effect means that local residents spending money on the Super Bowl are simply shifting their entertainment budget away from local theaters or restaurants. No new money is created from locals. The crowd-out effect happens because hotel prices skyrocket during the event. This drives regular tourists and business travelers away from the city. Football fans fill the hotels, but they simply replace the tourists who were pushed out. The net profit for the local government usually hits only 10 to 15% of the advertised economic impact. Operationally, Super Bowl week turns the city into a high-security lockdown. The Department of Homeland Security designates the Super Bowl as a national special security event. This places it on the same security level as a presidential summit. 10 days before the game, the Secret Service and FBI establish a local command center. The NFL requires a clean zone stretching up to 2 miles around the stadium and event spaces. Inside this zone, local businesses are strictly forbidden from displaying banners or selling merchandise using any football-related terms unless they buy a commercial license from the NFL. Then there is the volunteer labor trap. The NFL and the local host committee rely on 5,000 to 1,000 unpaid volunteers. These people direct traffic, handle logistics, and guide tourists. Using free labor saves the organizers millions of dollars. However, the host city committee is the one paying for their food, uniforms, and training. Let us look at 2 real examples of how this plays out. First is a famous failure. Glendale, Arizona hosted Super Bowl 49 in 2015. Glendale is a smaller suburban city outside Phoenix. To host the game, they spent over $8 million on police and public services. Because Glendale lacked 5-star hotels and luxury restaurants, wealthy visitors stayed and spent their money in neighboring Phoenix. Phoenix collected the hotel and sales taxes, while Glendale carried the burden of security and traffic control. The mayor of Glendale publicly confirmed the city lost between $1.2 and $2 million on the event. The lesson is that smaller satellite cities absorb the costs but fail to capture the tax revenue. Now for a major success. Las Vegas, Nevada hosted Super Bowl 58 in 2024. Las Vegas already had 15 zoo hotel rooms along the Strip paired with a 24-hour casino and hospitality network. The city did not have to build new transit or temporary hotels. Visitors spent massively on gaming and entertainment outside the stadium. The massive surge in hotel taxes and sales taxes easily outpaced the security costs. Las Vegas proved that utilizing a massive pre-existing tourism infrastructure is the correct formula for success. Let us break down the financial math for 2 different host scenarios. Scenario A is the small suburban city. They spend $15 million on overtime pay, security, and NFL logistics. They only collect $12 million in tax revenue because spending leaks to neighboring towns. They spend another $2 million on post-event cleanup and infrastructure repair. The net result is a $5 million loss for the public budget. There is no direct financial payback. The local government just writes it off as a marketing expense. Scenario B is the massive tourist hub. They spend $18 million focused entirely on security and traffic. Because hotel occupancy hits 95% at triple the normal rate, they collect $45 million in tax revenue. Cleanup costs are $3 million. The net result is a $24 million profit for the city budget. The payback period is just 14 days, arriving exactly when the monthly taxes are collected. Hosting a Super Bowl is not a guaranteed financial investment for every city. It is a highly expensive advertising campaign paid for by the taxpayers.